Hello, my name is Adam Dawson, and welcome to my major project. For my major project, I have built a 3D asset gallery, combining street photography and 3D modelling. I have used these to try and aim to connect people through the ordinary objects they are seen carrying on a day-to-day basis. I have used Maya, Unity, and Adobe Substance Painter to try and produce and create something impactful. My project aims to connect the subjects you see within the photos around the gallery to each other and to the wider audience, yourselves. I aim to connect these people and yourselves through the objects they are seen carrying. These objects are day-to-day objects from phones, headphones, binders, etc. I have used Maya and Unity combined to create the gallery as an interactive experience to showcase the connections between these objects and people. The gallery allows you to interact with each object, being able to pick it up, rotate it, and examine it at a closer look. Whilst also seeing a user interface which tells you about each object and their connections. Originally for this project, I intended it to be a VR gallery where you could walk around in VR and interact with each object, a bit like you are doing now. However, with limited knowledge on VR and Unity, I decided to go with a much simpler approach, showing sustainable practice and how I have learned to develop my skills in Unity to create something similar to what I intended. As seen within the gallery as well, you can also pick up the photos which I've taken around Hull Uni campus. This lets a viewer look at the photos with closer insight, allowing them to further the connections and read upon which connections I've tried to establish throughout this full experience. In the process of creating my project, I did extensive research on theories of graphic design and rules which you see in street photography. For my street photography, I tried to compose my photos, getting the subjects to position themselves in centre frame or walk past the camera, and I position them in the centre of the frame, whilst asking them not to look at the camera to make the photos look more natural. When it came to editing my photos, I tried to apply graphic design principles to them. Some of these principles included Tufte's theory on the use of colour. I tried to do this by ramping up the colour values on some colours. These colours included the green tones and the yellow tones seen in the photos to invoke a warm summer feeling when the viewer looks at it. By applying such theories into my work, I try and show my use of conceptual design and the theories I've learnt along my time at uni. When it came to making the 3D assets seen within my gallery, I used Maya to create them. I decided to use Maya as this is a software tool which I have been using throughout my time at university. I used Maya as I thought it would be good sustainable practice during my work, as it's a tool which I already know, and instead of outgoing myself and using a different tool such as Blender, I stuck with what I knew and worked upon the objects you see within the gallery, trying to put as much detail as I can into them. However, when it came down to using Unity, I was unfamiliar with this software. This is why I originally changed my project from a virtual reality project to something more simple. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to showcase the connections in my gallery, and I couldn't come up with a way. Then, when I stumbled across the inspect element in a game I was playing, I decided to try and do this, as I thought it'd be a much simpler approach, but an approach where it still showcases the connections in depth as I wanted. From trying this approach, I've learnt many valuable skills. This includes now learning coding, C#, which I had to do to learn to edit some of the scripts which you see utilised in the project, such as a script to pick up and examine the objects. I think by doing this and learning Unity, by going outside the teaching course, what was set, learning some new software and skills along the way, I think it shows my skills as a graphic designer to be able to learn new software and keep up with current trends. When it came to building the gallery, I decided I wanted the room which the photos and assets are displayed in to be small and quaint. I felt like this would emphasise the connections a bit more, as it would show how some of the connections are local and some can be seen wider through each subject. Having decided I wanted the gallery to be a small gallery, I looked at different galleries online to see how they laid them out. I did this to look at the design history of them, to make sure I was modelling my gallery correctly. I also based it on experiences I've had when visiting galleries myself, and how I felt within them. In doing this and thinking about the design layout of my gallery, I feel like I have created a gallery which keeps up with modern trends, but also keeps the design style of galleries which you see and go into yourselves. I also tried to show this type of design thinking when it came to my 3D modelling, as with some assets, I was basing them on the assets you see the subjects holding within their photos. However, in some photos, the objects appear too small and you cannot see certain details on them. However, I used what I knew about the objects, such as the coffee cups. I took the basic colour of them, kept them the same. However, when it came to the design of the packaging, I decided to design the packaging myself, including my logo on the front of the packaging, just for some different details, as the details you see in the photo were not visible. Overall, I think I have crafted my major project to a standard which I'm happy with. I think this standard shows where I'm at a level in my graphic design career. I think this project also shows my ability as a graphic designer to go away and learn new skills. Learning new software like Unity really helped to show this in this project. Learning C# as well also learnt me a new valuable skill. The skills which I've learnt throughout this project, such as C# and Unity, and being able to 3D model, are transferable skills which I will be able to take with me into my next career. These things can be used in all sorts. 3D modelling can be used in virtual reality, which is an emerging technology. It could be used in augmented reality. It could be used in any aspect of the industry. In addition to this, I have come away with other transferable skills. Some of these skills come from the side of photography. I've learnt how to compose photos, structure my photos, and also edit my photos in a way which I look pleasing to the viewer. I would also be happy to show this as a prime example of what I'm capable of to a potential employer in the future. I think it shows my all-round standard as a graphic designer and my way I'm able to come up with and create and adapt to the challenges in front of me. Also, as seen within the gallery, I have left some blank picture frames and blank pedestals in the scene. This is as, with learning Unity and C#, I would like to go back at some point and try to do what I originally intended, to make this into a VR project as well. I'd like to explore the idea of this and test my skills to make this possible. The blank pedestals allow me to include another couple of objects within the scene to explore this further. Finally, below this video I've attached a zip folder with the application of my major project gallery inside. This application allows you to open the gallery up and explore around it yourselves and see the connections which I have attempted to make. Thank you for watching my major project video and exploring the connections through ordinary objects with me.